Alrighty.
I mean, technically, we are streaming. We are, therefore, streamers.
All right.
I got accused of being an influencer the other day. It hurt.
Oh,
Doesn't that hurt?
I wouldn't take that
words.
line, though.
I just went and cried. I didn't fight.
also appropriate, to be honest.
All right.
Well, you do write a blog.
Yeah, sometimes someone says something and it's just like, damn, you got me.
Now, did it hurt because it was true?
Get a little too close to home.
All right. Let's discuss more of this after game time.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Tess.
Okay.
I don't need to apologize. Let's go.
No, everyone must apologize to me for everything that makes me unhappy all the time.
Okay.
It is...
Oh, fuck the server.
Once again, we stand within the hallowed halls of the Bristleback Inn, at the center point of this fair town that has struggled through so much to achieve this tenuous but very real prosperity. And here in these halls, the warmth of the hearth, we all sit together and savor companionship, protection from the elements, and the weird smell that accumulates in a room where all the windows are closed and there's no ventilation, and we're all stuck in here together all winter. Yes. Tragically. Sorry, you first?
I assume we honestly don't know how to... We don't have, like, houses that aren't drafty yet. Those haven't been invented yet. So there's a limit to how bad it can get, and also the reason why the fire needs to be so big.
Yes. Now, I just want to make sure I understand everyone's housing situation. I know that Finbar has set up the apartment block or the tenement along the south coast, which I should probably add to this map as an object.
You can call it a slum. It's
an upscale. It seems like
Section 8 housing.
It's pretty nice as slums go. I respect that. Like, it's a slum from coming from a good place. I know that...
Where's the rent down?
I also own a home in the peninsula as well.
Oh, okay. Well, that is also convenient.
Right.
I know that Magnus has his tower to hunker in. That Praderi has a really nice villa, effectively, a townhome along the peninsula. Probably closer to...
Which my retainers are also welcome to stay.
Yes, they are definitely taking you up on that, because it is pretty well insulated by the standards of the time. And I believe Ulfkel has a home of some sort, and if he doesn't, he has the sauna, right? Can't remember if he lives there.
Well, if he would love to live there, but he's been at the Bristleback for quite a long time because he didn't have any money for so long.
It's true.
Now he's actually got some cash. He ought to think about adding on, not just the sauna.
I have a house.
Yes. Well, actually, who are you today? Padrag or Florpert?
Yeah. Yes, I have. I've had them switch. I've had Florpert come back home, and I've sent Padrag to the frontiers of Irane.
Alright, so Florpert is home. But Padrag is not retired. Okay. So Florpert has some variety of home. Well, does Florpert no longer lives with the Pert clan, yes?
No, he does. That's the same house. It's their estate. It is the Urt family house that was purchased by Glorpert in his great wealth. And I really am going to try to kill Florpert tonight. And I'm going to consider it a matter of divination that if he survives, I'm just going to have to be stuck with him.
When all fails, it is very cold outside.
It is extremely cold outside.
I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to if somebody needs to fight a Yeti, it's going to be Florpert tonight.
Okay. So I'm trying to remember the rules that you use for overland travel in severe winter weather. I think it was something along the like a point of hit, like 1 point of damage per 6 hours of exposure, something like that, maybe more.
Yeah, I think it's, and this is just something, I think I maybe got this, there's another rule thing called "Do Not Let Us Die in the Dark of This Cold Night" or something. Have you heard of that? I think, I don't know where I pulled this. One aspect is you cannot heal unless you have both heat and shelter. You cannot heal unless you have both heat and shelter. And then the nightmare thing is you lose, I think it's just 1 hit point a day. I think maybe it was per 6 hours though, because maybe 1 hit point a day doesn't sound very threatening to the likes of Algar and Alaric and such. So
It depends how quickly you were being taken out. But regardless, there has been some news puttering its way through the grapevine. The nature of things in this world, news travels at the speed of gossip, and gossip travels at the speed of a motivated man traveling. And the speed of a motivated man has dropped significantly. Whereas in previous days of good weather, you could travel from Inchberry to the Red Quay and all the way down to the logging camp within the span of an afternoon's a brisk walk between breakfast and lunch. These days, getting from Inchberry to the Red Quay could take you the entirety of a day, and you'd be freezing by the time you got there.
Wow, and that's just inside the town.
Richard, I actually cannot see anything right now, just so you know.
That is a problem. Hang on a second. So you're in the landing page. You want to
I can also not see anything on Kayden's
No, I know what
screen.
the problem
Kayden's
is.
restaurant
It's
at
set
all.
to token vision. There's no token here. Save changes. You should
Hey, nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, cool.
Yes, I got to play. I do enjoy playing with the graphical toys. But yes, it gives a good vibe. Presently, you are in the peninsula, and the rumors that have come down say that the workers living at yesterday, a worker attempted to travel a band of travelers from the logging camp attempted to go to the Red Quay to get more supplies, and only one of them made it there alive.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, we
Yes.
can't have that.
Yes. They arrived panicked and startled and proclaiming that there were giants hunting men in the waste between the logging camp and the Red Quay. This rumor has gradually percolated its way north, first to the Perts, and from the Perts it came to Florpert, and from Florpert it came to the rest of the party.
My boys tried to beat him in order to go back to work, but they were just too scared.
Yes, that is almost certainly what happened.
He genuinely thought he would be try to be helpful.
Ah, yes, you've discovered the joy of scribbling on the map.
oh boy.
I can't do the dot. I'm just gonna leave it as that.
That's fine. There is a text. There should be a text command.
Boring! Scribbling it is.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's true. That is boring. Get rid of this thing. It's worse. Worse in every way. It is presently 7 p.m. and you are being baited upon by Isbel Bristleback. Unsurprisingly, under the current weather, there are no adventurers scampering around in the Bristleback Inn looking for work. However, Ulfkel's retainers, who continue to use his kingly stature as equal parts real political activism club and drinking excuse, are in your company and enjoying it. At the moment, Magnus has retreated to his tower, taking advantage of the miserable weather to wrap himself around some of the books which he has not yet had a chance to fully internalize, preparing himself for the leap to the next level, the tempting powers of level 7.
Ooh,
I don't actually know how close he is to it, but I assume that's what he's doing.
so there's some research occurring.
Yes. There is also news from the east. from the west. There have been some, and these have come to you by way of the church, which is that the churches of Inchberry are rumored to be engaging in heretical preaching, proclaiming that the rise of winter heralds an inversion of the tree of light, from which a new untree shall arise.
This is in Inchberry, you said?
Yes.
Oh.
This is one of those weird inscrutable theological points of call, which people would go to war for in the past, but to our present mind, seems kind of abstruse. The specifics of the concern seem odd, but it feels like an omen for something.
Yes, alas. Here in this world, we live in a world where we can cast a spell and figure out if they're unredeemable monsters.
True.
Yeah, that
Almost
feels
takes
like
the
it
fun.
needs a... Yeah, that's true. Well, then you cast the spell and you find out, no, they're not a monster. And you're like, oh crap, now I gotta talk to them.
Well,
Okay.
it's not all...
You almost wish they were an unredeemable monster.
This would be so
was
much
fair-
simpler.
Yeah, it
Simplify
makes,
your life
it makes
and all
things
that.
simpler, but
What they don't tell you about gray area is that gray is quite a complex color.
that's
It-
true.
it's just one of our favorite colors.
Folks, this is a tough one. Like, what if we leave one branch of chaos to sprout, the other one,
Yeah,
whatever.
we kind of have to make a choice. It might make sense to, would it be Father Bloombed who would be able to contact the light about that? I mean, Father Bloombed probably already has an opinion about these files in Inchberry if he has heard about them.
Is it detect evil? Is that the spell that's being used?
I mean, you could use that. Yes.
It could be his divination, perhaps, because that would give us a direct line to the higher ups, perhaps.
Yeah. I know we did ask one. Didn't we ask one question about the influence of chaos already?
Yes, that
Like
there
a couple
was
weeks ago?
some, I think,
Yeah.
was the name of it.
Or we asked like what was the best place to. So, anyways, sorry, I don't remember something like that.
How much does it cost again? Sorry.
The commune?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if I ever actually gave the specific cost.
Well, I have no money, and besides, my guy, well, I can still propose solutions despite how stupid my guy is.
How stupid is your guy?
He's terrible. He's terrible.
Okay.
I think the last decision or the last statement was it was basically our payment was questing against evil, but it was still very much up in the air.
Well, how about wisdom, if not intelligence? They say that the function of wisdom is to discriminate between good and evil.
You turning to me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Actually, essentially, his intelligence is average and his wisdom is less.
Oh.
He is very avaricious and
No, that ties into what I just said.
onerous. Odious is the word I'm looking for. Odious.
Odious, yeah.
I
If you
think.
do,
No, sorry, please, Richard.
all right. If you do wish to speak with Father Bloombad and request he commune with the gods on this matter, you can
At
just
least
go do
seek
so.
out- yeah,
But
at least we would seek out his guidance.
It probably
on the
still
matter.
isn't. It's probably still free, but it has graduated to you have to go roleplay asking him at least some of the time. Well, I'm not trying to fill time. No, why would I ever do that?
What? So where did we find out about Inchberry? Where did we hear about that?
It has
AJ
been
just did a roll that needs your input.
Checking it out.
It's not big. Is high or low good for learning a spell?
You want to
Bad?
roll low, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Oh
never mind.
no!
Magic missile. It's a surprisingly complicated spell. It hits without fail. It does lethal damage, and it never miss. And it strikes at range. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The reason they don't tell you this. The reason most magic users learn magic missile first is it teaches all the fundamentals. Not that it's easy, It puts down a good base for learning more magic.
Yeah, you get it.
Like learning piano before
Presently-
moving to other instruments.
I think
Exactly.
that just some guidance from Father Bloombad would probably make some sense, but
Mm.
it also sounds like the Yeti situation might be more urgent. So
Here's-
I would
here's
hope that
the,
we first talk to Father Blumbad to get a sense of that, and then plan around going after the Yetis first, because they're going out eating people. You know, they're not just.
Yeah.
My concern with the Yetis is that we don't have our lightning bolt machine with us.
That's
So
true. That's very true.
if these guys end up being sort of more than we can chew, like it's kind of a problem in both ways, because it might not just be like dudes in robes with daggers chanting about Yog Sothoth or whatever.
Could
It could be like some sort of, it could be Yog Sothoth, in which case we would still need our magic user. But
Yeah, we wrote down Yeti, but that doesn't mean it's a Yeti.
yeah, they said giants.
Oh, good.
So what
Bad.
information do we know, and what information can we find out about these? We should go talk to the person that
Okay.
made it,
Oh, and the kid, the person who came here to tell us about the Yetis.
like the one survivor of the group that was attacked.
Now here's the concern. That will take time. Like
True.
you can definitely do it, but it's a nasty walk in nasty weather, and will involve an occasional stop off in a peasant's house, being like, "Hey, we're gradually freezing to death. Can we borrow your hearth fire for a minute?" To which they'll be like, "Sure, we love you guys. Come on in. Let us talk your ear off for a solid 30 minutes."
Well, let's go.
also, who is our caller tonight?
I think it's me.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I say let's go talk to Father Bloombad because
because he's closer. And
He is
clearly,
closer.
traveling even small distances is a huge issue. So
this seems
we
like
should
a good
orient him on
intuition about how the cultists might be more of a thing that is just going to have to require some more time and attention. But that all comes back to talking to him anyway, as this is definitely his
okay,
wheelhouse.
so let's start with Father Bloombad, and then our base assumption is that we will go after the quote unquote Yetis, but we will allow him to perhaps change our minds.
Okay.
Dobby's
So,
not interested in splitting theological hairs, but he is interested in this gnarly hand, and
Oh
so
yes,
you
the
want to talk to him
hand.
about that?
because it could be used in clerics as well.
Yes. So here is Dobby's vibe from the hand. I want to address this before we go talk to Father Bloombad. Assume this is a
listening,
topic of
yeah.
conversation on the way. The hand is touched by an evil power, and it was made using evil power, and it's stronger in the hands of evil. But you can use it. There are things you can do with it that will be bad for you spiritually. But unless you... Let me review this magical item real quick, because if this is the thing I think it is, I want to make sure that I'm not giving you terrible advice.
Meant to be worn by a magician or holy man, about the neck like a talisman. It can be used to conjure a kind of phantom limb to allow them to perform spells that normally require the laying on of hands, like cure light wounds at sub-range.
Okay. This is some advice that Dobby gives to... Ulfkel with total sincerity. If you lose your hand, I know you will be tempted, sir, to replace it with this magical hand. As your spiritual advisor, I cannot endorse you doing this. That's a bad course of action. That will be bad for you. Don't do that. But as long as we
So
don't
Dobby-
do that, we should be okay. It
So-
should
so
be
Dobby-
permissible
yeah.
beneath the tree.
So
That's a
Dobby
good
is
wisdom.
saying this to Ulfkill?
Yeah, because Ulfkel's already
If he-
collected. Ulfkel's kind of collecting a few extraneous other people's body parts,
He
replacing
does
them
have
with
that. He does have that leg. That wasn't
Yeah,
his
the
idea,
leg,
but it
the
did
eye.
happen.
Eyes.
He's got
It's
like a
like-
ship of Theseus thing going on.
Well, it's a
Well,
little bit.
the brain's the important part. If he swaps that out, then we have a problem.
And the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Probably
true.
going to want to keep that too.
I replaced my brain, but don't worry. I'm the same soul. I asked God, and He said it's fine.
That's deep.
Anyway,
Alright.
so yes, Dobby can wield the thing. Let
Okay.
me make sure it's in the treasure chart.
Could you refresh my memory on what it does?
It lets you basically. It's a 3E-ism. It conjures a hand that lets you cast touch spells at range at about 30
Ooh.
feet.
Does
So
it do
like-
anything other than the
Dobby's
touch spells?
Yes, if you cut off your hand and replace it with it.
Understood.
You don't want to do that.
speaking of the treasure sheet, only the last like 5 items are visible.
Oh yeah, the filter's on. Hang on a minute.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Never mind.
Yeah, it's all fine. That's all 10. Okay.
But is there a chance it'll corrupt Dobby?
Yes, if you cut off his hand and put the hand on it, which is why he's telling you you shouldn't do that.
Florpert says, I think that you should. I think you should cut off your hand. My mother told me in the book, I can't read it, but they said it in the chapel that something about if you have an evil hand, you should cut off your hand. I remember that from the story.
I'm gonna need
might be some order of
scripture.
operations that are a little mixed up here. But
I
think
remember
it's,
the story.
Hey, we have a
Hey.
Magnus.
Hi, Magnus. Welcome back.
Welcome back. You're just in time for weird
I'm
magic hand curses. Those are the
You're
best.
muted, Magnus. By the way.
Glad you all put up
Yes,
with me.
I'm back.
Put up with that was fantastic.
Prodarius,
So-
meanwhile, wondering whether, oh gosh, is what's this one's starting letter? At Florpert? At Florpert is wondering whether Florpert has ever actually went to a sermon.
He just heard his mother
Of
say.
course.
Yeah.
No. There's a collection plate. Of course he's been to the sermon.
Oh no! Oh no!
Easy money.
He's collected quite a bit from the plate.
Just making
All right,
change, right? Just making change.
So
right,
to
all right. Everyone should
bring Magnus a little bit.
Yes, bring Magnus up to speed.
So to bring Magnus a little bit up to speed, we're currently in the depths of winter, and it is like going even around the area of Kayden's Rest will be extremely difficult. So we're trying to get. We're currently dealing with 2 potential problems. One of which is that to the west in Inchberry there are some potential heretics, and we're going to talk to Father Blumbad about how heretical they are and how big of a problem that is and how urgent the problem is. And the second problem, which appears more urgent, is that to the south there are some apparent Yetis that are attacking workers in the camp to the west of the Red Quay. And we're trying to solve both of those if possible.
Perfect. Well, I love killing Yetis.
Oh, good.
It's their
Since,
favorite thing to do.
Yeah, since Magnus has returned from some of his self-imposed exile that he was using to study, perhaps we could just throw ourselves at the might of the Yetis, or hopefully not actual giants, and just hope to just destroy them and solve that.
Having said that, the bailiff of Inchberry is a good friend of mine.
So, first off, we need to talk to Father Blumbad while we have his ear about these reports or stories that we are hearing from the west in Inchberry about people with interesting theological ideas, and we seek his wisdom on these matters.
Alrighty. So, you approach the church. Now, here is some important context, which I am going to sort of retroactively add into your knowledge, which is that since he struck down, in the time since Father Blumbad struck down the idol of the eldest god to the northeast, he has been largely cloistered from the public eye. Not completely, not to the degree of it being tremendously suspicious, but he has been ill. And his illness has been, like, he can cure disease at will. So the illness that he has been grappling with is sufficiently powerful that it is contesting his magic. And so to aid in his work, he is getting a lot of rest. However, to be clear, people have spoken to him. Any of you who has a cleric in your party, the cleric has spoken to him. He's still an irascible jerk. He's not consumed with darkness. He's just got a lot of weird rashes going on. That
Should
should-
we bother him? Maybe we should just put this whole side of the problem off for a little while until he has more rest time. What do you all
I
think of
thought
that?
we had detected evil, and we detected there was evil afflicting him.
That tracks, yeah. I don't remember saying that, but that feels right to me.
I don't remember that either, but
Like, it's something
Granted,
he's
the last time
grappling
we were
with.
over there was like months ago.
Oh, no, you're talking about the bailiff of Inchberry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
okay, I thought you were talking about
was,
Brussels.
yeah, sorry. Sorry. I was
Okay.
updating the treasure sheet.
No
With
problem,
the
no problem.
extra pressure.
the bailiff of Inchberry is clearly a problem, but it's a different problem.
My bad.
Maybe we should get on that too. But
Anyway, you go to the church, unless you guys tell me not to. You go to the church, you arrange to see him. It's a walk in the cold, it's very tired. He is in bed, resting when you find him. He has, like, half of his face is, like, encrusted with toad skin, looks like the skin of a toad. Warts are sprouting.
no.
One of his teeth is loose. The other half of his face looks... No. The other half of his face looks immaculate. And he looks you, and when he looks you in the eye, it is definitely still Father Bloombad, unflinchingly. And he coughs a lot as he speaks to you. But the light within him and the fire within him has not been dimmed, and you suspect it will win this fight. What a fight it is. When you come to him, he says, "In this world, the lives of men are transient." And actually, I'm trying to think how best you would say this. Listen, Yetis are a big problem for everybody, but they're not the profound darkness that we are solemnly pledged to quest against. You get out there, you figure out what's going on in Inchberry, and you put it down. That's the oath we took. That's our job.
I turn to the others and see how they react to this.
Bloombad is doesn't ask for a lot directly.
Very well. Then we should take this order as an order.
I'd go do it myself, except, well,
Yes.
you've seen what's come of me.
You should rest as much as you can, and let us know if there's anything that we can try to bring you that will help.
I'll be fine. Just next time you go up to that goddamn cloister up in the swamp, you finish burning it down.
We'll do what we can.
Probably wouldn't say exactly that, but I'm just trying to capture his vibe. I may retcon his precise advice, but the vibe is unflinching aggression of the forces of darkness, and ready to do it, an unhesitating willingness to do what's gotta be done for the greater good.
Yeah, we will do all we can.
I know
We
you
will
will.
carry this out on the Bloombad. But I know you need your rest. We will pray. We will pray with you. But is there anything that you've seen in your time of rest? Have you seen anything about this darkness at Inchberry that could help us?
I've meditated on it, and I've consulted the higher powers. But you know how abstruse their visions can be. And when I ask them about this, the visions get weirder, the visions get fuzzier still. I'm trying to make heads or tails of them. I feel like there might be something contesting us, some dark power. The visions of the light are strong, but there are places that the light doesn't shine. The fact that we don't know what it is, that alone says a lot.
Is it
Like the
masquerading
effects
as
of
the light,
frogs.
Father Bloombad?
I would say so. If it was of the light, then the light would know its own, wouldn't it? Something's going on over there. Something that ain't right. Something that maybe we shouldn't drag too many people into.
Very well. Our priorities have shifted, gentlemen.
Rest easy, Bloombad.
I'm just sick, not an invalid. I'll be fine.
Rest as well as you can, guys. It looks pretty bad.
This? I've had worse. He looks to Braderi. Remember when the fire took us? That was bad.
Still, that was... Death is a serious fall, but You do not look well. Please.
I
I can leave.
know. It looks terrible.
Odin
I'll be all right.
Odin will stay and tend to Father Bluebed.
If you must. You're just trying to get out of the fighting, aren't you? He says to Owen.
I'm afraid you look worse than you feel, Father. We will say many prayers.
Is that bad? I'll tell you what you can bring me. Bring me a mirror.
Odin will go fetch a mirror, and he'll also fetch one of these scrolls of disease here, just in case.
Ugh. Nah, that's about how it feels. I'll be fine. Give it time.
Do you think that
Good luck.
you're gonna cast the scroll of disease? Otherwise,
He's not gonna cast it. He's
hold on to it.
Father Bloombad's actually holding on to them. Actually,
Okay.
looking at the sheet.
Father Bloombad can cast Cure Disease, and he has been casting it. His power is directly contesting the infection, which I am using as a convenient excuse why he is not
He's
doing
busy.
everything. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Just to get what's the difference between Holmesian and Doyleist? Like there's Holmesian
Just say
explanations
in character and out of character,
Yeah.
so we get it.
The in character, it's an in character explanation for why to justify the out of character situation where these things are your problem and you do not have a higher power that can resolve them for you. Anyway,
Don't tell us that though.
I probably shouldn't. You're right.
Spirituality as well.
We thank him very much for his time and wish him the best. And a
Good
speedy
luck.
recovery. And destroy the frog!
The hated toad. Froggy.
Alright. Now we must proceed west, it seems, to Inchberry. We've been given the equivalent of a direct order, and our priorities have changed.
All right. You make it to Barcombe by about lunch. Travel across this wilderness, well, across this main road, is a completely different experience from what you're used to, especially for Zolatan. He doesn't usually overwinter in this part of the world, and frankly, he's remembering why. But the company of his companions does a lot to make up for the overbearing darkness above. At Barcombe, the party takes a brief rest to grab a meal from one of the locals, who are happy to host you. The spiritual traditions of Barcombe are distinct from those of the peninsula and Inchberry. They're more syncretic, but they've also a kind of a mashup of the old ways, the old gods, and the light. But it's still one which is, well, as Father Bloombad said, the light knows its own, and it's known that the people of Barcombe are largely good folk, even if you don't recognize all of the holy symbols which they have hung over their doors as a ward against the Fae. After sharing a lunch with a generous but well-compensated party of peasants, you make it to Inchberry late in the afternoon. Turn on slightly spookier music. Wait, what am I talking about? This is like as spooky as the music gets. Turn on slightly less spooky music.
It's a good amount of spooky.
Yeah. Just looping too much. Gotta bust it up a bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's just let the ambience soak in. Inchberry is let me pull up my notes on it to make sure I'm fully up to date. What was the name of the bailiff again? Bailiff of Inchberry, Braylon? No, Lord Homelunch was one of his men.
I never remember his name.
His name is Miami Heat.
Frere Brelin is, I think, is what I have it as. Inchberry has grown a bit since you were here last. Used to be a pretty sparse connection of small freehold farms. Since you You came back, the roads have expanded, though everything's buried. But in practice, with everything buried under the snow, what that means is that coming out of the white haze ahead of you, the shapes of buildings come into view. Fairly tall ones. Well, 1-story, 2-story, nestled together in little thickets and groves. Orchards gone dry and woody, for lack of green. A sign flaps in the hard wind, clapping against the building next to it. A small inn awaiting you. To the north, there's a proper villa where Frere Brelin, the bailiff, administrates the settlement on behalf of his distant patron and of the merchant lords of Port Town. And to the south, many more small fishing settlements along the river. From here, you have a couple obvious options. You can go to the inn. You can just start looking for gossip. You can go directly to Frere Brelin. You can confront him directly. You can go to the church. You can see what's going on in there.
The church or looking for local gossip both seem like good ideas. What do you all think?
I'm sorry, this is such a boring question. Does somebody have detect evil?
Onan's back with Father Bloombed.
Whoops.
Okay. Big dividing line on detect evil or no detect evil, I think.
I believe Edith has it.
I assume Edith is with you?
Yes. Edith is like my little sister. I'd never leave her at home.
Mm-hmm. All right, feel free to check the... what am I looking for? Feel free to check the book on to see what sort of spells she can memorize. I don't remember if Detect Evil is a druidic spell she can touch. Remember, she's 2nd level now, so she has...
Correct.
Actually, she is a druid, and the spiritual traditions of Barcombe, which you just went to, is a place where druids hold more respect than clerics. So she was probably your in to... She was probably the person who knew your contact in Barcombe and got you found you a family who would be willing to host you for lunch.
Okay, she does not have Detect Evil.
We'll just have to trust our intuition, says Edith.
We'll have to roleplay.
We'll have to go by vibes.
Well, surely if they're heretics, that'll be easy to detect. Not
The local church might have some insight into that.
You're well versed in your heresy, huh, Father? Or Magnus?
Well enough, I would imagine. But in any case, we can also check with my very good friend, the bailiff. See what he has to say, perhaps before we hear what the potential heretics have to say. Maybe
That's
he's
reasonable. He's a person of relatively high importance that you have friendship with.
Indeed.
Well, that seems like a reasonable start.
AJ, can you do me a solid and go to the marching
Yes.
order page and make sure that the people who are with the group are in the marching order?
Will do.
It's convenient to just be able to just drag, select, copy, paste. Saves all kinds of time. Much appreciated.
So need to have Florpert instead of Glorpert.
Rip floor. Hang on a second.
That just brings the attack
Glorp.
modifier to -1, AJ. So thank you.
Yep.
Oh boy.
That's just 5%.
To only -1.
One sec. I gotta fix this guy's token.
So Edith
There's-
is... Okay, there's Edith.
Oh, floor. There's the floor.
I'm assuming Monakin is staying back.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can't actually move Monacan. I can't
Just
move
tuck 'em
Edith.
I'll just tuck him out to the side. Yeah, a lot of these get. Actually, they should be
Or Dobby.
okay. These are problems I can fix, but I will. Whatever. Sorry for the delay there. So it sounds like you were torn between. Which were the options you were considering? You wanted to go talk to Fairbrellen? Or that was the
Yes.
proposal from Magnus?
Yeah, it would be either that or just try. Well, but the two that I suggested were trying to find like local gossip. And the best form of local gossip turns out, I think, to be Magnus's suggestion. So we kind of replaced that option, and the other option would be to just go to the church. And if no one else has any input, then I vote we go with Magnus's idea. All right, let's do it.
Off you go. You remember the path, though it's not quite as simple as it once was. You navigate your way to the north, going largely by memories and the shape of the terrain around you. You're used to this place being more lively. It feels like a memory of what it used to be, an old memory. Everything has started to fade, and only the shapes remain. But there are still lights on in the villa of Fairbrellen. And his fine glass windows, so thickly glazed, radiance peeks between the wooden slats and is revealed. You rap on the gate, and a servant, clad thickly in robes and a cloak, comes to the gate to let you in. They're an older man. A little younger than Magnus, actually. As you catch, but they've aged more poorly. They look at Magnus with bags under their eyes and gray in their hair, just peering out from between the thick cone of the cloak, and ask, "What brings you here on such a miserable night? On such a miserable day."
We wish to speak to my good friend, the bailiff. A few questions. It's been too long since I've visited him.
All right. Come in, then. He lifts the latch and gestures you in. Your whole train going in like a line of monks, until eventually the door closes behind you into a place into a fairly dark hallway, lit with many candles. And the servant says, Fairbrellen's not in his best health. Hasn't been for some time. But I'm sure he'd be very heartened to see you, Magnus Masterson. Please, come in. He escorts the whole party to the bedroom, where you can hear a pretty hearty snoring from within, honestly. I was going to say something along the lines of sickly coughing, but no. This man is snoring up a freight train. And he says, the servant says, I will, please come with me. He goes in and he wakes Fairbrellen, and the man sits up wearily. Then he starts to cough a bit. Oh! Wheels his legs out of bed, hauls himself to his feet. Magnus, my old friend. So wonderful to see you. You came all this way through the dark and the wind to visit a frail man like me. Welcome, come. We'll brew some tea. Open the good wine.
Oh, not so frail now. Come, don't be modest.
Oh, ever since I fell ill all those weeks ago, I haven't been myself again. I've had to leave more and more of my responsibilities in the hands of my trusted underlings. I can only be
Really?
Sorry, say again?
I said, really?
Yes. Unfortunately, Hummelinch has proved a faithful retainer.
Hummelage?
Hummelinch. Homolunch. An actual historical name.
It's like Glorpert, it sort of arose from... It arose from the same discussion as Glorpert, but let's move on.
Well, I hear some interesting new activity going on amongst the believers hereabouts. Any news about that?
Oh, nothing much that I've heard. I've been keeping to myself largely.
No? No strange doings at the church?
Well, Jeremy. He turns to the servant who's coming in, like bringing a pot of hot tea and pouring out cup for all of you. What have you heard anything about these? About any rumors about? What sort of rumors were these that you've heard?
What is this Jeremy? What is this?
Jeremy
tea?
is.
Yeah.
Jeremy is just the retainer who's led you in thus far. He's apparently just one of Brer Brelin's manservants. He's just some guy. He doesn't give off any particularly menacing vibe or particularly evil vibe, but maybe.
Noted any new visitors at the church? Perhaps any new persuasive and charismatic preachers hereabout? We hear some strange stories.
Well, yeah, actually, says Jeremy. This is so. One moment, I'm pulling up one of my notes to make sure I give you guys appropriate information. Well, the brothers Denbican and Caltrum have risen in prominence at the church. They've become very persuasive theologians of a sort. Though they come from low birth, mere peasants. They've learned to read, they've learned to write, they've started interpreting the texts, discussing them with the rest of us. They've been, occasionally they've been moved to speak at the church itself. We found some interesting ideas about the purpose of the Tree of Light in the times of darkness as this. They're still consulting the higher powers of the church patriarchs for guidance on such matters, but...
Sounds controversial.
A little. I don't concern myself too much with such matters. I trust my soul to the tree, and I know that in time I too shall shine upon its leaves.
Yes.
Now I understand, Magnus. You're from... sorry. At this point now, Father Braylon speaks again. Now, if I recall, Magnus, you come from distant lands of Constantinople, where I've heard that they have a very different relationship to the light than they do here. Tell me, is this so, or have I also heard false rumors?
Oh, it is so. Things appear different. I'm hardly an expert, you understand.
You were not a man who closely followed the teachings of the light in that time. But
I'm not an unbeliever.
I know.
That's what you're asking.
Well,
But it's
I've
just
heard of-
that we are concerned with all the doings, of course, in the surroundings. It's so important that we all keep close ties with one another and are aware of what's going on. You see, the better to defend us all.
Indeed.
So when new voices show up from parts unknown, saying things people haven't thought about before, it gives you...
Oh, they're not from parts unknown, protests Jeremy. Denbican and Caltrum have lived here for years.
Oh, I see. From Inchberry or from... No,
Well, Inchberry has only been here
years.
for a year or two itself. By that measure, we're all from far away. But Denbican and Caltrum were part of the have been here as long as there's been an Inchberry.
I see. And where can they be found?
Oh, they dwell on their old family farm, where they tend the fields. Well, on the current ages, they're probably at the church. Not much, there's a lot of, they've learned to read, they've learned to write. They're probably hard at work copying treatises for the monks there. You should go. I think you'd be welcome.
Yes. Oh, it sounds like
Yes, let's
most education.
pay them a visit.
They seem pretty open about it. It sounds like maybe a good place. Wait, maybe we shouldn't detect magic or detect evil. Maybe we should hold on to that card, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
They seem pretty open so far.
Getting late in the afternoon. You have torches as you travel, as much for your own visibility and for warmth as for any sort of light. It's strange how quickly it becomes dark this time of year, and even when the sun is in the sky, you can barely see it, a suggestion hidden behind the clouds. Where are you going from here? To the church?
I think that makes sense, unless you want to get a second opinion. Which I think we've gotten most of what we need to know. Or rather, most of what we are likely to find out just talking to people.
Alright.
The only other possible alternative that would make sense would be to talk to the local church itself before. Wait, wait, no, we were talking about going to the church before trying. Never mind, no. We would be going to the church either way.
Is the church on the way to the farm?
Yes, it is on the way.
Might be good to just have a look in and see if there's any unusual iconography or,
Okay. Alright, let's swing by there. There'll be someone to talk to as well.
You head to the church. Alright, one moment. Ta-ta, ta-ta, ta-ta. You approach the church. It's a building that's fairly large. I'm gonna say about 30 by 60. One moment. You approach the church. Church is a 30-foot wide by 60-foot deep stone building, with a tall spire. The front gate, it has two entrances. A large front gate, 10 feet across, and on the side, it has a small outbuilding with a side entrance.
Everyone needs to switch over to the sketchpad tab.
Yeah, you don't
on
need
the side.
to, but like you can go to the sketch pad to see the layout. I'm quickly running down. Sort of scribbling on. Imagine me just sort of scribbling on the. What's the word I'm looking for?
Battle map?
On the battle map. Yeah, that's the word.
This is the
It's
way.
flanked. Yes, and it's flanked by a large, like, what's the word I'm looking for? A graveyard / garden. Though at the present, it's hard to tell the difference. The front gate does not appear to be locked, and the iconography of the Tree of Light stands high above the door. Do you wish to poke your way in? Of course you do. What am I talking about? It's cold out here.
Sure is.
You got the pews. Usual small town church feel. Up front, there is a shrine to the tree and a small preaching pulpit. There are 4 people here who are busily cleaning up the place. One of them is just coming out of a side room. And they all look surprised to see a large host of heavily armed people poking their way into the church. It's lit largely, almost entirely by candles, and it's quite dim. The entrance of your torches does a lot to add both warmth and light to the space. One of them sort of...
We rush inside and close the door behind us to keep the winter out.
Yes, thank you, he says. Please.
Brothers, we are here for a blessing.
Well, the priest is out today, but perhaps one of us... Come in. Tell us your troubles. I'm Cultrum. Who are you?
Hello, Cultrum. We are the Kayden's hand, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm named Zolatin. These are my compatriots. I introduced them all one by one. It's nice to be here in person. We've been busy over these many months in faraway places and braving horrors, and now we are simply doing our rounds of Kayden's hand.
Yes. So now you've
the
come
region around
here.
Kayden's Rest.
Welcome then to our small corner of the world.
Tell us more stories of what's been happening here lately. We're in search of news.
Oh, well, it's not that much to say. We farm. We've been fortunate enough to have enough support from afar that we could prepare for the winter, that, the coming darkness wouldn't strengthen us instead of weaken us, and see us come out the other side stronger, I hope.
That's
Not everyone can
such
say
a
that.
relief to hear.
Yes. I understand that some of you have, I've only heard rumors, but I know that there's been a lot of construction of new housing along the rivers to the west. I haven't been there myself, but I've seen some of the new structures pop up on sunny days. Is that any of that you're doing?
Is that our doing? I don't think that is.
Finbar is the one I'm talking about. Finbar's.
Oh,
slums.
Finbar's.
Yeah, he financed a huge housing project, which did a lot of good for the people on the south coast.
I gesticulate to Finbar to elucidate his own perspective on this and take credit.
Basically, all I
Yes,
did was I dropped a fat load of coin, and everyone's better off for it now.
That's good. Well,
As the light commands us.
as the light commands us, of course.
A lot of people have spent a lot of coin on a lot worse things than that, and knowing how to direct it is a function of wisdom. So
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Indeed.
So you mentioned something about the darkness being used to strengthen you. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Wow. Struggles a moment to put it into words. The Tree of Light produces a garden, yes? It produces a space from which all good things flow. And that light is tested as it expands out into the world and enters the places where there is no light. Like you guys. Your stories of your heroics have spread far. It's, and you, as acting as the beacons of light, have gone forth into the darkness to shed it where there had been none before. In so doing, you've become stronger, and the light's become stronger with you, yeah? It's like that. The winter tests us. The Darkentide tests us. It gives us something to press against, something to define ourselves, to define the light in contrast to. The light has meaning in the context of the dark, and the darkness has meaning in the context of the light. Both of these are part of the world. As winter comes, as summer comes, we too go past through these cyclical processes. Now, are there any clerics in the party right now? I've thought there was at least one. It's possible
Well,
that
we left one behind, but
Dobby's here.
Does this place have pews? I'm sorry if you already mentioned that.
Yes.
It
Or
does
is
have
stand-
pews.
It does the pew thing. Okay, Florpert is desperately in the wrong place. He's got his muddy boots kicked up on a pew in front of him, and he's picking his teeth with a magic dagger. In the back. He would
One of the knaves, one of the other church workers, a nice young woman with brown hair who's kind of mousy looking. Her body is concealed in layers and layers of insulation. It's just like, oh no, you're going to get everything so muddy. Oh, please let me take your boots. Just all this going on in the background.
Oh,
And
thank you. He kicks off his boots. His feet are disgusting.
oh no, put your boots back on.
Okay.
Oh, no.
He puts his boots back on.
Ah!
This is so complicated, this church stuff.
Meanwhile, Dobby is Dobby. I know that Dobby is here, even if Yonan isn't, and Dobby has heard this heresy before. It's one which comes around sometimes.
Gnosticism.
It's
Oh.
no, Gnosticism's a different heresy. This is
Different.
there's so many heresies,
there's
man.
a lot. Like
There's so
there's
many.
there's an unlimited number of ways that you can change the doctrine.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Zolotan's boots are just miraculously not muddy. It's really very polite of him.
Indeed. Actually,
Oh,
on
yeah.
that note, yeah, I'm thinking about someone who might be leaving some interesting footprints.
Not
Oh,
me.
yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
A weird guy here.
Mhm.
What a weirdo.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Florpert is drawing most of the attention. Anyway, Dobby. Dobby thinks something's up with this. Because this
Watch his
heresy...
reaction.
This heresy is an old one. And he isn't sure how it would have cropped up here. It's not so much that the heresy is, inherently evil, although anything that promotes accepting the dark into the natural cycle of being is questionable. But it's out of place. It doesn't make sense that it would be here. Because he's heard this specific heresy discussed about 100 from histories from like 120 years ago, and it doesn't make sense to find it here because there's a line of transmission that there's no sensible way
Right.
for it to have been brought here. It
Yeah.
indicates
But
that
this is an interesting branch of the faith that I am hearing, Brother Caltrum.
there's precedent.
You've been here in Inchberry for the past year or so, is that right?
I was with the first settling party, actually. Me and my family.
And who taught you your catechism, if I may inquire?
I was, it came to me myself, he lies, as is clear to Dobby and to a lesser extent all of you, because there's that hitch in his voice, as that flick of his eye as he struggles to confabulate a reality on the drop of a hat.
So you're an autodidact, is that what you're saying?
He pauses a moment, puzzles through that word. What is a didact?
Self-taught?
Oh, yes.
You taught yourself about the light, is that what you're saying?
It came to me in meditation and in prayer.
Well, this is a bit unorthodox, I must say, Brother Caltrum.
Well, we are having a catechism just tomorrow. Perhaps you can come and lend your insight after the fact.
Thank you for the invitation. We just may want to take you up on that.
That sounds productive.
Thank you. I hope that I'm sure that together we will find a constructive synthesis. Anyway,
Who was the other guy besides Caltrum? What was the other name?
the other guy is one of the other priests here. His name is Jurgen. He is a older man. He's got a bit of red hair. A line of his patronage probably dates back to the east. Frankly, he wants to hear all about your adventures. He has heard dimly of Kayden's Hand and before them the Hounds of the Pine, but he's only heard like the stories from other people, and he's sure they've been by turns exaggerated or grossly understated, and he would love to hear them from your own mouth. Actually, he pauses a moment. Would you be willing to, at the sermon tomorrow, share your stories? Tell us of the dangers of the world beyond and your conquests over them? I think that'd be mighty fine. I think that'd be drawing a lot of attention and do a lot to, well, he gestures outside. People are starving for something to do.
People like stories. I'm just glad they're not starving for real.
Well, we've
Well,
had
yes,
a
that
good
sounds
summer.
like a reasonable thing to do. Wouldn't you all agree, boys?
Sure,
Alright.
sure.
Then it's settled.
It's perhaps teach against the problems of tainted teachings or something.
Where
Guarding
should we
against-
sleep?
Good question.
Well, you said there was an inn somewhere, right?
Yes,
Oh, that solves
this-
that problem.
there's a small traveler's inn.
Let's pile into there and give them some business if they got room for us.
Oh, I'm gonna look for lowlifes.
All right. Well, the inn's a good
As
place
you
for
Tess,
that.
we're-
If any have
Tess,
survived.
were we going to go to that farm?
Could
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Hey, let me turn up your volume a bit. 'Cause
Yeah, you're a little quieter than usual in your new setup, John.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me better? Is that better?
I think so.
I just turned up your volume on my end. I can hear you fine now.
Yeah, did we want to go to a farm? Was that our next thing?
Yeah, you wanted to go. You had some interest in going to meet Keltram's, the farm where Keltram lives.
Well, we've already met Cultram, so what do you think we'd discover there?
His
I
brother.
assume we're saying this out of earshot.
His brother Dembicon.
Right.
Could figure out about his upbringing, what happened, yeah.
Yeah, weird stuff that he's got.
How about we in character sleep on that and then try to set out first thing in the morning? Because if it's a farm, they're probably more prone to waking up early, and so we get a little bit of daylight. It's getting dark out.
Indeedly.
Okay, so we go to the inn for now.
Alrighty. One sec. Toggle navigation. Yes, we've all seen the inn, but what about second inn?
They might follow a pattern.
Oh, I love to play with colors. Now, let's see. The Traveler's Inn is fairly sparsely populated. It's you, a small band of traveling merchants who are rather snowed in, and the proprietor, who is a man named Serge Kenna. He wears his long hair in a ponytail, and like most of the people around here, his figure is largely his silhouette is almost completely obscured by the layer after layer of insulation he carts around everywhere he goes. He meets you at the door, nodding with a strange smile. Ah, friends. Hello. Come in. Close the door. It's freezing out. Are you here?
We're here to.
Who do-
We're just here for rooms.
Who do I have
Maybe
the
warm
privilege
food
of,
if you have it.
Who do I have the privilege of accommodating today? Yes. The perpetual stew is of course perpetual.
Oh, that's good. We are Kayden's Hand.
Oh, that's wonderful. Please, come in. Come in. I'll get you our finest room.
Well, not trying to big time you here.
No, it's fine. We have a good room for travelers of import such as yourself. Please.
Thank you so much.
Do come in.
That's so gracious. We'll pay appropriately.
How much is it?
Normally we would. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 gold, and I shall bring you my finest wine to boot.
Per person?
For all of you.
Oh.
Oh, good.
So...
Yeah, he's not screwing us over like some people.
He just sort of looks right past Florpert, who he assumes perhaps... Who he just
happened to
assumes
wander
has no
in.
money. And
also he's probably assumes just kind of wandered in at the same time we did.
yeah, see, he's just some weird hobo. There's no way he's part of Kayden's hand.
The rest of us look quite fancy though.
Yes.
Here's an extra gold piece for the mess that my friend will make as he mucks about in
Is he with
his
you?
boots.
I thought
Yes.
he'd come from the Krogville. Okay. Yes.
We have dealt with all sorts of things.
Now it soon becomes apparent that the finest room here is.
Not
There are
super
2
fine.
rooms here. Most people here camp in the just to camp on the common floor. There is, however, a larger room which you guys get access to in the back. It has 1 main entrance and 2 windows which have been sealed up. Along with a low burning lamp. Although there are not quite enough beds for all of you, as in fact there's only 2 large beds here, the proprietor spends a little time scuttling off and bringing in more mattresses, more blankets, ensuring that you have everything you need. And as you do, there's definitely attention to him. The same vague sense, the same air of alarm that he had when he first heard you say that that you were Kayden's hand. And
So more so than just being kind of overawed by someone important, there's something else beneath that.
there's an edge, yeah. However, the food is definitely not poisoned. It comes from the same perpetual stew as everyone else. It's stew. It's pretty good. It's hot.
I love hot things.
It doesn't give you any sort of bad vibes. Might give you some odd indigestion.
That's future Zolatin's problem.
Yes.
All right, so we convene in the room with the amount of privacy not often granted to people in such places where everyone has to pile in. So we discuss our plans. We have settled on that we're going to go to the farm first thing in the morning, as soon as if we can.
Okay.
Assuming the storm hasn't gotten worse. We also speak with Brother Dobby and get a little up to speed on the nature of this heresy being an old one, and therefore that Peltram was therefore not speaking candidly.
Were there any unscrupulous people at the inn?
Yes. Let's see who. So I mentioned that there were some merchants there. For the most part, it was pretty quiet. However, there were 4 merchants. One of them is quite unscrupulous. What sort of unscrupulatory behavior are you seeking?
Well, first I just want to check with the caller. What do you think about obtaining maybe a different avenue at the same time, like the underside of things, if there is such a
See here, we got about an hour left. I think we could give it a shot at least.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll try. Maybe this will give us hopefully a different coming from a different direction. Okay. They really, I think my goal is for them, if they are respectable, I'm not going to talk to them. They have to be outsiders, or they have to be obviously unscrupulous. That is to say, misbehaving. Actually, would be a good indication, I think, of that.
Let's
If they're regular merchants, I'll just leave them be.
They're playing cards, and this guy is definitely cheating.
I just barge in then, and I say, I would like to play some games of chance as well.
You'd like to lose some money, is what you want to do. Come on in.
You haven't met Florpert, I see. Florpert is I. And I just scrape up a chair, it screeches on the wooden floor, and whines, and I pull it up, like chalk on a chalkboard. And then I just plop down, and I plop my purse of coins down, and put my hand on it, and I'm like, cards!
That's a pretty rich band you've come in with. The Kayden's Fist.
Yeah, mostly a bunch of losers, if you believe it, actually. They're not actually as all they're cracked up to be, but I've made some money with them.
Huh. Would you say it's a good gig to get into?
No.
Yeah.
What brings you to Eastreach? I can tell you're not from here.
Oh, I'm selling copper. I'm a copper merchant.
Oh. Well, what a time to be trying to sell copper here.
Mostly rock anyway.
Can I attempt to cheat?
You may. Roll a d20.
Oh, crap.
All right. So while the rest of you guys are getting settled in in the private room, in the common room, a hubbub breaks out as one of the other players shouts, "He's cheating! I saw him right there. He's got a second deck of cards in his back pocket."
I stand.
Actually, no. How do you cheat? Let me not put words in your mouth.
About, if I were to rate it between a 1 and a 20, about a 7, which is to say, probably stands up and some cards literally fall out at his feet, and he's like, "You're morons! I haven't cheated. I'm good at this game. I'm good." I'm backing up, and I'm like, I bring out my dagger. Backing up.
We're all oblivious to this. We're back in the room.
I'm not trying to rush and stab anybody, but I back up.
Sure.
Don't accuse me of this. You just are jealous of my lucrative career.
I should just take your copper and go, friend," says one of the more respectable merchants. Meanwhile, the crooked merchant just laughs. "Ah, you're daring. I like that. Get out of here."
I wag my dagger and I fade into the background as best I can to follow the one that looks the most cunning through the night to see their activities.
Alrighty. Alright, in that case, I would like you to roll me another d20 to represent... No, actually, no. Roll me a d100 to represent... This is your move silently type check. Ooh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I think,
All right.
actually...
What level thief type guy is he?
It's not good. It's not very good.
I mean, it's better than...
It's a level 2 thief.
It's still better than another guy trying to do it. Alright. So to be moved silently, you needed a
25. I got
25.
a 41.
You got a 41. Roll your noise to check this guy. Oh, he got a 1, so he definitely hears you. So here is what you happen while you're trying to peep surreptitiously on on what's going on outside. Late at night, the proprietor, Serge, is in discreet discussion with this copper merchant, Aya. And he gives this man they come to an agreement, money exchanges hands, and Aya rushes out the door. But as this happens, the door creaks loudly, indicating to Serge that his little exchange may have been overheard, and he begins to panic. He quickly rushes away to his own private room. What do you do?
Okay, so the merchant is the one that received money from the from Serge, the innkeep.
Yes.
So the innkeep is there by themselves.
Oh no! Yes, that is the case.
I mug him.
All right.
I mean, I don't like just mug him. I'm gonna like threaten him and try to be like, yeah, what the hell's going on exactly? Yeah.
All right. Is anyone going to help? Are you going to tell anyone else what you
Don't
saw?
help me. No one help me right now because I don't deserve it. But
All right.
This is my last chance. All right, third attempt to try to be a thief. He's terrible.
This is excellent.
All right.
I'm thinking of it like this is another avenue of intelligence to try
pretty good.
to try to gather information. Yeah.
All right. So Florpert sneaks away for a minute.
If only Monacan were here.
Most of the other people here are asleep, so I'm not going to make you roll for a move silently check. You can move quietly without having to roll. Serge is hurriedly, as you reach this door, what are you going to do at this door?
Oh, is he's trying to enter the door?
Oh, Serge has already slipped into his own private room.
Oh.
And you have pursued out into the main room to go. Sorry.
Okay, so let me make sure. A is the copper merchant. They scurry away when they hear noise, and they gave money to Serge, the innkeep.
No.
The innkeep.
Okay, no. Here is what you saw.
Sorry.
Serge, the innkeep, paid money to Ea. Ea accepted the money, nodded in approval, and then rushed out the door on an errand at midnight in this weather. Buried in a torch.
I'm so sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Then Serge realized that you saw him do this, and Serge, the innkeeper, began to panic and rushed off to his room, whereupon you pursued.
Okay, I'm sorry. I may have misunderstood this. I'm so sorry. Let me make sure.
No, that's fine.
So the innkeep received the money. Is that right?
The innkeeper gave the money.
Okay, gave
To Ia.
the money. Rushed to room. But importantly, Serge, this transaction was complete when the squeaking happened, and Serge disappeared off into the night, into the weather.
Serge
Ia rushed off into the weather. Serge came back into the room.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Ia. Oh my gosh. Anyways, importantly, I should follow Ia. I mean, that seems like what's important here, not the innkeep. Yes.
All right. If you want to go intercept Ia, you can do that. So you pursue Ia. He is going through the darkness. His gaze is ahead. He's got one of those hoods, which is like this is basically just a tube that encompasses the face and goes forward.
I mean, mine's probably not that better.
The wind is howling. He has a torch, so you don't need to light your own torch.
Oh, nice.
You can follow him in silence pretty much easily.
Okay.
What? You just gonna keep following him? You're not gonna?
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna see where he goes. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. He is going to the house of Frere Brelin. And there, where he is met at the gate by a different servant who doesn't seem to recognize him. At which point, I would like you to roll a hear noises check to hear what is being said over the wind, without having to get close enough to be overheard, or to be seen rather.
Oh, terrible luck. Yes, I
Sadly
feel that.
so. You're not sure what they say, because the storm is so loud. But the what am I looking for here? The servant yields to Ia and lets him in, and then ushers into the villa behind him. Do you pursue?
Yeah.
Okay. You go over the wall or through the gate, one of those, and the front gate of this villa, or rather the front door proper, is not locked. You are able to slip inside with some discretion. Whereupon, you are now in the building, largely unobserved. You can see from the wet footprints that they have gone quickly deeper into a different wing than you were in last time. One where the long-term guests of Fairbrelin dwell.
You said the House of Frere Brelin. This is then... Okay, yes, okay.
Yeah, this is Fairbrelins of Vila.
Okay.
You know that a few people... that Fairbrelin is not the only person who lives here. In addition to the servants, you also know that some of the government staff dwell here.
Okay. Well then, I try to follow into the darkness and I go about dropping some eaves.
Alrighty. Roll me a... No, you're fine. You don't need to roll any check for that, but do you roll me a hear noises check?
Fail.
Alright. Here is what you overhear as you eavesdrop. Ia goes to someone who you've never met and says, I have a message from your friend at the inn. He says that Kayden's fists are there, waiting, and they're asleep and suspect nothing.
Let's say that last part again, sorry.
They're asleep and suspect nothing. He also said that you'd reward me well for this information. And then there's a thump of someone's body hitting the floor.
Okay. I, quickly as I can, bolt back to the inn.
Now roll me a move silently check.
Oh.
I fail terribly.
Now roll me an initiative.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I do good
Well, it's
on
not
that
too
one,
bad.
probably. Yeah.
Okay. You flee before you can be caught. Hot on your heels, you hear someone's feet, bare feet, rapping against the earth as they pursue you with a vengeance. They cry out, "Stop, thief!" And then you're out the front door into the winter beyond, where you cannot be caught, where no one can find you. The darkness that is the friend to thieves everywhere. Now you just need to find your way back to the inn before whatever's about to happen is going to happen.
Right.
Before you freeze to death.
Also that, yeah. You're having a time. There's honestly the main reason that you probably were overheard is that you are shivering violently. No. Their ears were probably just honed to a perfect pitch by the cold in here, because otherwise there's no one else way they would have heard you. Since you're Florpert the silent, Florpert
Right,
the unpredictable.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's some sort of foul play. There's no way they could have heard Florbert otherwise.
Yes. So Florpert's heading back to the inn with all
Yep.
haste, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, about 30 minutes after Florpert vanished out the front door, he returns.
That's not long enough
What?
to get really cold.
It's pretty cold out. There's some shivering. What do you
I believe
tell...
that, but like, I don't think he's gonna die. That's all.
Okay, most of the rest of the party is asleep or getting to sleep at this point. What do you tell them?
Right. Are they in one room, like a master suite room, where they can...
Yes.
Yes, that's
Okay.
right.
Oh,
Is-
actually, hang on a second. There's a map. I just realized I haven't actually been showing you, like a fool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, not a good map.
All right. Yeah.
There is a map, technically.
All right. This is the inn. This is the like kitchen or something, and then this is like upstairs, and this is the room. Is this the only room, or is there a room across from it, or at a higher or lower level?
There's probably the second floor has a lot of other rooms, but they're not as good.
Okay. And let's see. I go around and I kick everybody's bed, and I'm like, "Wake up, you fools!"
Getting slush everywhere like that.
Yeah,
we all
I get
wake up
slush
just
over
stumbling away,
everybody.
bewildered.
Listen quickly
no.
if you want to live.
Everyone in the common room is woken up as well. They're all like,
Oh, really?
clumping. Oh, I'm just.
don't mean to do
I
that.
assume that you're clumping in like clump, clump, clump.
No,
Maybe not.
no. I'm trying to be surreptitious because I have a plan.
Okay.
Great silence is afoot.
Yeah. Obviously, what we must do. There are people coming to kill us in moments. But I am brilliant, and I have an ingenious plan. And I take one of the bed sheets, and I take some of the pillows and flim-flam nearby, and I stuff it together and make an effigy out of it, and then I stuff it into the bed. And I push people out of bed, and I try to make effigies into the bed so that they can come in and stab effigies instead of us.
Like that one scene in Lord of the Rings.
No. This is an original plan. I've just thought of this.
No, it's a good plan. Movies don't exist. This is completely new to me.
And then
Sure.
and then we wait and we watch for people to approach the tavern, and then we have ropes outside, and then we like bust in heroically and gain surprise and
Okay.
yeah.
Is there? How high is the ceiling here? Could I like hide in the rafters because they don't expect me to be like a fucking flying snake?
Not in this room, but potentially
Okay.
in the other room. However,
Yeah,
to clarify, remember you're not invisible. When you're sustaining your guise requires you to limit yourself to human activities. It's a suggestion, a kind of a trick of the mind. As soon as you fly, everyone notices that you are a giant flying snake and you are not invisible.
At some point
I'll stick to human things then.
in the process
For now.
of like creating stuffed pillow people and knocking people out of bed, I say, it's all a ruse. The innkeeper Surge the innkeeper Surge has told our enemies of where we are, and they have tipped them off, and they know that we are asleep here, and they're coming here to kill us even now.
Well, we should certainly ambush
Hey,
them.
Floor, that's a pretty good ruse you've got there. What do you think about? Aren't you good at hiding in shadows and climbing and such?
Oh,
What
yeah.
If you lay and wait.
Yes, I should.
You could get all the glory for yourself.
You're right. It is my plan. And I try to stand in the corner like a statue, and like I'm a coat rack.
Well, you do have the figure for it, albeit not the smell. All right. What is the consensus plan at this point? Now that you have received this vital intelligence from your brave and active, infiltrator, Florpert the Fun Ken.
Silent? I think it was silent.
I'm gonna put some armor on. Doggone it.
That's gonna make ambush a little bit more difficult, but yeah, probably reasonable.
Yeah.
I gotta
Are we
pee
going
real
to
bad.
try to
Florpert's he's gonna be stupid anyway, so I'm gonna run and pee. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Peeing
Are we
is allowed.
going to try to hide in the common room? Because there's a lot of sleeping people there. They're probably going to notice like 9 more people out there, especially in armor. Or are we going to try to sneak past them out the front door? Or,
I believe it was mentioned going out the windows and hiding like on the roof or something.
I could do that. I don't know about you, though.
Is there room on the roof and out the windows for people to gather? How many windows are there?
We are definitely on the second story.
You're on the first story.
Oh, never mind.
The second story has has smaller rooms and cheaper rooms. You guys got the good one on the ground floor.
We could cool man swing on ropes in through the windows.
Just
Yeah,
kind of
conceivably.
climbing in hurriedly might make a little bit more sense than trying to swing. But yeah, basically yes, I agree.
But the style points.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, that's
The
good.
room's
If there's a way where we can like hide outside the building, where we would not be seen from their approach,
It'll be cold, but okay.
it will be cold.
Ulfkill and Dobby want to get up on the landing, like go up the stairs and just kind of like peer down if we can.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we all find different places to hide, and then we will all kind of rush in.
Yep.
Alrighty.
I try to hide in shadows.
So Florbert is hiding in shadows in the main room or in the
He's in the bedroom.
Okay. Wolfkill is lurking up on the second floor, along with Dobby. And the rest of you
I'll
guys
hide with
are...
them because my character is a little less acclimated to the cold than the rest of you.
Okay.
Moore will join them on the second floor. Pasling and Nisel will be right beside Prairie.
Alrighty. Alrighty. The rest of the gang is out here. Somewhere where they can see the front entrance
Yes.
without being immediately seen.
Yes. Before this, I will kind of before we. I hurriedly ask just that whether it is okay if I let people in this area see my guys for like a minute. Do you think that we can all cover that up, or do I need to strictly limit myself to human activities?
Out of character, now is the moment for violence. I think now's the time for an angel to appear and smite everyone.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. But for now, I will just be at the top of the stairs.
I mean,
I could have done that.
they know who they're messing around with. Okay, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Even though I accidentally said it wrong.
One sec. Da-da. Throwing some stuff down. Actually, wait. Can you guys see this page?
The
Yes, you can.
Sketchpad copy? Yes.
Sketchpad copy. Let me just rename it real fast.
Sorry if I derailed everything. Sorry.
No,
Oh,
that's
this-
fine.
Oh, that's good.
I mean,
You kept that
pretty
moving at a
great.
good pace. It wasn't. When
It's a
you
good
go
way
on the
to-
side like that, there's always a little danger that that things will get bogged down and it'll become like the one-person show. But that took like 10 minutes. And it was great content the whole
great.
time. Sec. A small party comes up the road towards the inn. You recognize you can't recognize the figures easily, but one of them sticks out to Magnus's mind. It's Lord Hummelunch. On his left side, there's a strange figure. A very long-armed man, tall, gangly. Most of his figure is obscure. Everyone's figure is largely obscured by the heavy cloaks they wear, so they only get a dim sense of who they are. But this one, she moves like an old woman. She holds a cane in one hand, has a long staff she's using as a cane. They're approaching the building purposefully. You guys are all hidden. You don't have a source of fire with you, so you're all freezing cold, but you aren't going to be seen in this light. You also can't hear them, what they're saying, with the exception, possibly, of Florbert, who has, of course, nigh preternatural hearing abilities. Florbert, give me an ability to hear things.
I hear nothing.
Were you supposed
Indeed
to
you
roll
do.
like a... Oh, never mind.
Say again?
I thought you were supposed to roll a percentile.
No, the hearing check is actually a 1d6.
Oh, my bad.
It's one of those things where it's like, we'll just use whatever dice make us the happiest when we're typing. Just getting good, warm, fuzzy feelings about cubes today, so I'm going to use a 1d6 system.
Right.
Anyway. So, all the other figures, with the exception of the long-armed man and the old woman, are bearing torches, though mostly unlit. With Hummelunch's help, Hummelunch, bearing the lit torch, assists them in lighting their torches. And then they start moving to surround the building.
How many of them are there?
You see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven of them.
Oh, well, let's cast sleep.
Alrighty.
Wizard doing his wizard things. It's a good idea.
Alright. You start casting. And then I'm going to call this a surprise round. You're going to catch them off guard. Roll to see how many characters you can affect. Let me check suitable.
Well, depends on hit dice.
Yes, I'm trying to. Do you have the chart, the calculations for that off the top of your head?
Well, it's 2d8 for 1, 2d6 for 2.
Roll me one of each.
Okay.
I should not.
Well, how do you want to do it?
Thinking. Yeah. So let me
Okay.
double check the stats of everyone involved here.
Okay.
It's a 4. Right. Which one are you targeting primarily?
I don't know. The long-armed man makes me nervous.
All right. He slumps, falling flat, as does one of the cloaked figures.
Did you still want me to roll another 2d6, or how do you want?
Roll a 1d6.
Okay.
All right. Ooh. Sorry, did I say one cloaked figure? I meant all of them.
Well then.
Lord Homilunch pauses. Roll 1d6. We're now in a very strange combat.
Who's rolling 1d6?
Zolatan, roll 1d6 for initiative.
When you say a strange combat, you mean a spooky one, or just it's a strange situation?
First,
most of us don't know we're
first
in
strange,
combat.
Then spooky.
Oh, okay. I'll do spooky.
All right.
Yeah, why not both?
Yeah, I think that Magnus is the only one who truly knows that combat has begun, and the rest of us are still waiting for them to rush it to like come inside.
Well, everyone
Why
who's
is
with
there-
Magnus knows.
Okay.
All right. First round. Spell declaration. The old woman begins muttering. Lord Homilunch begins preparing to activate a mysterious artifact on his person.
Magic missile.
All right.
I
So
don't think my character knows.
which group is Magnus with that would know?
Magnus is outside. If you're outside,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. So not. Would we be able to like yell like a signal that the attack has started, or no?
Yes,
Okay.
you can.
So Perdere will do that.
All right. The rest of the party may also act this turn, though probably if you can't see an opponent right now or know where one is, you can move, but you're not going to be able to attack them. You won't have quite enough time.
The people on the second floor, are they able to see anybody down below or no?
No.
Okay.
There are probably some doors in this common room, or sorry, some windows rather. Let me just draw a couple.
So my character could rush out, but would be unable to attack in the same turn.
That is my thought.
Okay.
Can I save some time if I try to climb out a window? Just to get
You're on
over
the first-
here to be in
You're on the
firing
ground
range.
floor. You can just.
Oh, I thought I'm on the second floor because I'm in the room.
No. This is the first floor. These guys
Yeah.
are. These guys here. These are on the second floor.
Oh,
Second
you're on
floor
the
is the
fifth
cheap sheet.
Then
the cheap
I
seats.
rush out then and try to stop her. Yeah.
All right.
So I couldn't like declare a charm person, then have more run downstairs, right?
You can have her start. You can have her start.
I have charm persons to burn, so I'll just have her.
Yeah, you can start spinning one up speculatively.
Or yeah, or no, I'll just have her cast. I'm sorry. Declaring mirror image. I
Alrighty.
should have asked that before.
One sec. Doing some math off the top of my head real fast.
So yeah, she'll move a little bit closer to being able to get downstairs and cast Mirror Image. That'll be what she does.
Alrighty. Alright, who else is moving into Who else in the main gaggle is moving into combat? Because I assume right now, like everyone who's not explicitly on the board, I assume you're here in the big front towards enemy PC party token.
Yeah, I'm ready to run out and start bashing face.
Yeah. All three of my fighters are going to.
I would also like to
Do
rush
likewise.
into melee as soon as
Or-
possible.
Actually, they are in very good ranged attack position, are they not?
They kind of are. The weather's pretty bad for ranged attacks.
Okay, that's
the
that's
range is
fair.
long
Yeah.
too, but
If
you
this-
can still do it.
If this is... Oh, I'm sorry, I did this stupid thing, Richard. I don't know if you can get rid of that.
That's
trying
not hard
use
to
the
get rid
range
of at all.
tool. I think I might have been in range to make it. Maybe. No, 50 feet. Never mind. I don't think so.
Yeah, probably. Oh, movement ranges in this edition are ridiculous. You can move like 120 feet.
In combat.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then I run up to the old woman.
Nice.
Alrighty.
I also want to rush out.
Yep. My peeps are Russian.
So if we were on the landing, we could.
But they
we
were
could-
British.
We could.
Say again, John?
One sec. Say again, John?
Oh, so we could see through that window, and we could see the gang.
I assumed that I couldn't really see anything, but
Yeah,
I
you couldn't
heard
really see
an
it, but
alarm, and
you
therefore I
heard the-
ran out, and I'm just kind of like stumbling around trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, you heard the cry from Praderi. Is the long and short of it. Just to
Okay,
say that
I
the
would.
battle has been closed.
Brother Dobby would cast Hold Person.
All right. Now, right, Dobby was with you on the stairs.
Stairs. Yeah.
All right.
But you said the people inside can't move and attack.
True. Yeah, Dobby is not going to be able to move
Yeah.
and target someone this turn. His
Yeah, we're
original
getting
fire
our
position is just too wobbly. He couldn't see any specific targets, so he couldn't start spinning it up
Right.
yet. That's the sort of thing you need to target someone with. All right. The good news is that Forpert has decided to jump the old woman while she is trying to cast a spell.
I don't have a token for Praderi here.
Easily fixed.
Thank you. As well as my retinue. Because we were hiding by the build. So is the thing this over here is supposed to represent everyone who was hiding outside?
That's where I assumed you guys were.
Oh, I was just gonna hide like by a window or something. I thought that. I'm sorry. I should have been more clear with that. Because our plan was to just like hide outside and then jump through the windows as soon as the trap was sprung, which obviously that isn't happening.
Yeah, because of. All right, so yeah, well, we can put you guys up here. That's fine. That's the whole gang minus the your crew. And where are the rest of your followers? Yoan's back there. Moore's there. Oh, there's two nasals.
Oh, that's
Sorry, two Predators.
interesting.
So the reason I was so willing to just go with sleep without any chance of resistance, because I assumed you guys were like way out here, where you had like a really good line of. They were looking in a direction that wasn't you. I guess it doesn't really matter that much at this point.
Sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, let's not get bogged down to it. Do you want to close to melee?
If I can, yes.
All right. You go. What is your normal top movement rate? Because this.
He is relatively unburdened.
All right.
So it is. Let me look.
You can make it to either this guy or you can make it to here. Normally you'd be able to go a full 120 feet, but the weather is so bad
Yeah.
that this counts as bad terrain.
So figure the long arm is. Hang on. There was one of them was messing with an object, correct?
Yes, that's this guy.
You can't make it to him.
Sadly not.
Okay. I will.
Also, why are you still injured?
Oh,
Fix
yeah,
that.
I don't know. I'll fix that.
Fixed.
Do you have a reach? Do you have a pole arm? Because
I do not.
Oh wow.
Rip.
Yep, he's a front line through and through. He's got a bow. Yeah, he'll. I don't want that guy behind me. He'll stay there.
Okay. I think that's everyone's movement.
Niesel and Pasling would be charging beside him.
All right. So Niesel. They're both slower than you, though, right?
A little bit, yes.
All right.
Well, they both have some equipment. Yeah.
All right. They're both going to be a little farther behind you then, just
Okay.
because they're more burdened down.
They
and-
will risk the range, or they can't move that far in range check. Never mind. They're just moving then.
Okay. So, spells time. Florpert, you were going for the old woman, right?
Yes, I wish to try to grapple her.
Alrighty. Roll a 1d20. And let me know what...
It's real bad.
Wait,
It's
spells
an
time?
old woman.
No, I
Did
just...
we skip past melee?
We did skip past melee, my bad. Okay, so Florpert attempts to grapple her, and she reaches out with the hand that isn't currently holding the cane. and
Tell me
just-
how the old woman beats me up. This is what I'm here for tonight.
She's got long, kind of jaggedy claw.
Oh no.
She's got long, unkempt nails, and they're
Oh.
going right for your eyes.
Oh no.
And they're just
no.
like,
Those are
yeah, wah! Praderi, meanwhile, I assume is the cloaked figure on your right side. They are largely obscured. Their face looks human at a glance, but you only just got here. Are you going to stab them or not?
Yes.
All right. Roll for murder.
Murder?
Give me that 1d20. All right. All right.
15 hit.
15 does hit a sleeping target. Here is what happens.
They're sleeping, that's right.
Yes. Your sword plunges in as you go, as you take out the assassin.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize this person was asleep. Is the long-armed man asleep?
Yes.
Okay,
He's
so
also
never mind. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're good.
You plunge your sword into the long-armed man. No, into the cloaked figure. And they spasm awake for a second, clutching at the sword, shocked. And then their body spasms, and a jackaline muzzle erupts from the hole in their
Ooh.
mask as they arch, writhe,
Those guys.
and perish, twisting into the shape of a inhuman jackal human hybrid.
You've seen them.
There's a sense of an evil power being disrupted, a dark spirit being released.
He'll yell out, "Jackals, jackals!" Just so everyone's fully aware.
Alrighty.
Did you say
Flor-
spells?
1 second. I forgot to do the melee
Oh,
sequence.
yeah, okay.
That I didn't oopsie doopsie. The old woman's spell casting is disrupted by Florpert's aggression. Lord Hommelinch, however, has a different device in mind. All right. Lord Hommelinch draws from within his cloak a long span of tile. It is brightly enameled in blue, and he holds it in both hands and snaps it. He vanishes in a puff of smoke.
Ah!
A life-saving treasure.
Now it's spells time. Actually, no. Finbar was also charging to melee, right?
If I'm allowed to, I'd love to.
What's his movement rate usually?
He is at full movement rate.
Oh, okay.
He basically carries just enough on him to do so.
Alrighty. Finbar is able to close to another one of the cloaked figures. Are you going to lunge in and stab a guy?
Oh, I'm gonna bash him good.
Alrighty.
Well, I'm gonna try to bash him good.
With what?
With
Faux
the
wrecker?
faux racker.
Ooh. Yeah, you tell me how that kill goes in a minute, and while Magnus rolls up his magic missile effect.
So there's no longer any other spellcasters. I'm gonna let it fly at the old lady.
Alrighty. Roll damage. Alright.
11.
Alright, 1 sec. So that. Alright. She is not killed by it, though she is sorely wounded. The invisible bullets strike her body from multiple directions, sending sprays of blood out the exit wounds. Nonetheless, she continues to approach and to close to melee with Florpert. A terrible fury seems to overtake her. As her hood whips back, you can see her wrinkled face and see the skin draw back from her long teeth, which are filed into points. She spits blood in spite. Next turn.
Do I get
Richard?
Do I get to kill my guy?
Oh yeah. Tell me how the kill goes.
When I was a young man, my biological mother dated a man who was a big fisherman. And every time he would catch a catfish, he would pull out his catfish cleaning tools, which consisted of course, a fillet knife, but also a 2x4 and a hammer.
Is this a recipe? Go on.
He would lay the catfish on the 2x4 and hit it in the head with a hammer. This man is a catfish, and I have a hammer.
In truth, he's a jackal. The skull.
Well, he was. He's dead now.
Yeah, the skull crackles underneath the impact of your blow, as the life is smothered from the thing. Let's mark this guy.
Would you to roll a 1d6 for initiative?
Yes, please.
6.
All right, you guys go first. House always wins.
You're the house.
All right.
All right. So, spell declarations.
I don't. Charm person wouldn't work on these, would it?
I don't know if you saw, but Magnus declared magic missile.
Yes, I did just see that. Thank you.
Zoltan's gonna just try to rush into melee and wrestle the only remaining alive figure. Well, alive and upright.
Yeah, Perduri will support as well against the lady.
Alrighty.
So yeah, I don't think no other spells from me. I mean, Bora's gonna run out and try to charm person, but without expecting it to actually succeed.
Alrighty. S'more gets charming.
I apologize that she doesn't get a swing at Florpert.
It's okay. I'm sure we'll kill him eventually. He has it coming.
That is true.
Ross, I apologize I wasn't able to kill Florpert this time. I'll get him later, I promise.
No, this is it. If he doesn't die tonight, it's destiny, and he's going to be the hero of the story.
I'll see if I can save you from him. I'll do my best.
I'm gonna stand right here, so in case my sword misses.
The whole party is just kind of pouncing this one combatant. I don't really see how this is going to work.
I just need to get lucky and hit him once. He doesn't have many hit points.
He's just smiling with his eyes.
You know what?
I won again!
I'm going to not move up. I'm going to kill this long-armed man right here.
Oh, God.
There you go. Alrighty.
I have this old woman anyway. She can't beat me.
That's true. Alright. So that was spell assertions. then movement.
Nobby wants to move up and kill a.
You can do that.
Well, the cloaked figure there.
Oh yeah. Sure. Bonk. Finbar, where are you going?
He will probably move towards. I'll probably try to start bonking other cloaked figures. He'll go to this one.
Okay.
We could try taking a few prisoner if you wanted.
I don't know.
Not a bad idea.
I interpreted Father Bloombad's orders very literally, personally.
He's not literally your boss, to be clear, but.
What if you charm person this powerful
You
spell?
say that.
Yeah, Dobby could subdual damage the sleeping guy.
Yeah, that should be doable.
We could find out where they came from.
Alrighty. So
we're getting very overconfident because we know that the Glorpert can handle this.
yes,
Yeah,
it's true.
he sure can.
All right. So, I'm gonna go from left to right. Prederi. If you're taking a shot, you're going to put down the long-armed man.
Long-armed man, yes.
All right. A giant man, Frankish in appearance, eerily long limbs, a slender mustache. And now, his life comes to an end so abruptly.
I knew this
Roll.
problem started in France.
It always does. Roll to hit. All right. You put him down square. Unlike the supernatural creatures that you put down a moment ago, this man doesn't come to life with some violent lurch and tear the sword from your grasp, struggling to hold on. There's no sense of some unholy spirit being released. He just gives a spasm and then he's still, slain in his sleep like so many before. Finbar, cloaked figure, plan.
Are we taking prisoners?
Do you wanna?
I don't know. Does anybody else want to?
It's all suggesting to take prisoners so we find where they came from, but you don't have to listen to him.
All right, I'll hog tie him.
All right. Finbar gets the tying. Niesel, what are you doing?
Niesel is finishing off the cloaked figure.
All right. Roll to hit. Don't botch it. That'll do. Actually, wait.
With the bonus from Pasling and it being unconscious.
Yeah, that'll do it. Down it goes. There was one time in the past when I had a sleep attack not be an instant kill. It was when I think Father Bloombad was taking out a gargoyle with the edge of his magic shield, which wasn't really a weapon per se,
Yeah, I remember that.
but still creamed it for like 14 points of damage. Anyway, this guy's not that tough. He dies. And the spear straight to the heart does the trick. All right, Pasling, you are swarming over this feral old woman.
She is going to make sure the cloaked figure is dead and hit him again.
Okay, that cloaked figure is double dead. All right,
It's
Zolotip,
destiny. He's gonna make it.
you may yet.
We want her to give it a shot. But, how about this close figure that Dobby's going after? I can try
Yeah,
to tie
sure.
them up.
Dobby needs the help.
Yes.
This old
Alright.
woman's gouging my eyes out in the snow, and everybody's just like walking around and stabbing sleeping people.
You got this.
All right,
He's got
my
it.
character
He's
would
got
go
it.
after the. My character would go after. All right, if you put it like that, all right, my character would go after the old woman. Like,
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's.
Okay.
But I see what you mean. Role playing as well. I'm fine.
yeah, all right.
I get
I would try.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and take the
Sorry.
shot.
Oops, okay. I think I got a +5 on this for constriction.
Alrighty. That is definitely a hit. She
Oops.
doesn't have any armor worth noting.
This is for a grapple.
Yes, you entwine the old woman in your coils and get to scrunching. Roll damage.
2d4, I think. 4 damage.
All right, she's not quite dead.
Nice. Wow.
She makes a lot of weird crackly noises as her bones get all flexy crunchy.
Man.
Okay.
I'll help.
Florper.
I'm helping.
It's your time, Florp.
Okay.
Put her down. Give her the shank.
Yeah, I do that. I do the shank.
Show us your heroism.
I get a 5.
All right.
She's flanked.
Okay, I get a 6.
Yeah, she's good, man. Listen.
No. I want to see it. I want to see it through, please. I want to see it.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's not your fault. There's just so many freaking scales in the way. This guy's being all wiggly, ruining your vibe, interfering with your kill.
Yeah,
He's stealing your
Exactly.
kill. Sure. Wolf kill. Help. Steal his kill.
He kind of wonders if she might know something that the cloaked figures don't know, so he kind of want to swat her, not, subdue.
Going for subdual damage?
Go for it.
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can. That'll do. Even with the hit penalties from subdual. Roll damage as regular. We're assuming you're hitting her with the butt of the spear.
Yeah.
That is exactly enough to drop her to 0 hit points.
Perfect.
Okay, real quick, okay? 2 things, real quick. First of all, Florpert will immediately, as he's wiping the blood from his eyes, sees this after his friends save his ass. And he triumphantly puts his knee in a Captain Morgan on her dead body, and then stabs her real quick with the magic knife and says, "Ha ha! I'm victorious again!"
Oh.
And then
That's where the fun part kicks in, because now her death curse activates.
Oh no! Oh no!
I was like, look, we're trying to save. We're trying to take her
sorry.
alive.
I know I was a mistake. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh.
You guys want to
Okay, so
prevent
what
her
happens?
Okay. Well.
I mean, I'd tell him to stop. I don't know if he'd listen.
I mean, I feel bad because I did that. I did that. I'll explain my mistake later. I'm sorry. Does something happen? Is he dead?
Probably. She has a reprisal field on her. It's going to do a chunk of damage to him. I know he doesn't have that many hit points.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Does it? So it hits Florpert though. Does it?
It hits Florp. Well, he's the one who killed her. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just like literally coiled around the target, so like, proximity wise.
Do you want to try and take the hit on Florper's behalf?
No.
I'm really
Goodness, no,
sorry. I'm
please.
sorry. You guys tried to take this prisoner. It would have been a good prisoner.
What was the second thing that you're gonna do?
Well, it
Or was that
doesn't
stabbing?
matter very much. I'll tell you at the end of the session now that
Okay.
it deeply doesn't matter anymore.
All right. How many hit points does Florpert have? Not enough.
Yeah, he has 2.
All right.
Florpert, no.
Florpert, yes. Florpert goes in for the stab, and I'm trying to think how best to describe this. A strip of skin at the back of his head.
Oh, the same old
Peels-
injury again.
No, this is a new one. This is a new one.
Oh.
A strip of skin from the back of his head peels up off of his scalp, forming into antlers for a moment, bearing like the flesh of his skull, and making him bleed profusely. And then finally flops limp, and the injury causes profuse bleeding, finally dropping poor Florpert.
He just drops to his knees and is looking at everyone and he says, "You're welcome," and then dies.
I was waiting for. I figured someone else would discharge the death curse.
Okay.
I
I-
almost had Pasley go for it, but I would have felt bad for stealing the kill.
I'll explain my poor behavior afterwards.
Oh
Frost.
no.
I am metaphorically extending my hand and putting it on your shoulder.
That's kind
You
of.
are a delight, and I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. You're so nice.
Your presence here is wonderful, and all of your behavior tonight has been fantastic. Anyway, here is the practical upshot of what has come to pass. After one extremely busy night, The following has happened. You have slain 5 jackal men of some sort. You have slain a scary and feral old woman who is touched by a dark power. You have routed the clearly malevolent Lord Hummelunch, and gained strange knowledge as to what has been going on in this town in your absence. More information will be provided to you soon, but it is almost the end of the session.
Quick question.
I will begin. Sorry, say again.
Quick question. Do Moore and Dobby kill their cloaked figure, or do they tie them up?
Moore was going to charm person, but I don't think that would have any effect on these.
Would it?
Let me double check that.
So long as they can speak and they're a humanoid, it can.
Yeah, no, I'll roll a saving throw. Yeah, they completely blow it. You've got a charmed companion.
You've got
Amazing.
a jackalware. That's awesome.
It's a budget jackalware. These guys only have 3 hit dice.
That's pretty good.
That's great.
I'll send you more intel about it.
It's got more than I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Yeah.
We got an even worse player character for you.
I have complete faith that Ross. I have complete faith that Ross could come up with a worse character than Florpert with no particular difficulty. In the most wonderful of ways.
I know we're gonna run out of time soon, but I almost think, is this not? I mean, the Reconquista is now. I almost think you guys ought to just march onto the city hall and bust in and drag everybody in and be like, we're gonna do some questions and we're gonna figure this out, right? Is this?
Why wait?
Y'all,
The
y'all would
Inquisition
wait,
only
would
works
you?
when nobody expects it.
We would just do that.
No one expects the.
one
What do we
expects
call
our
this? The
Inquisition.
Kayden's Inquisition? I don't know, but I don't know. It feels like it very inquisitorially-ish around.
Yes.
Yeah, we all got awoken from sleep. We're all quite angry. We're irate. We're looking for.
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, Ross would, not Florpert.
Yeah.
That is I think, very rational next step.
All right.
Florpert was really the MVP here.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
He went out in style.
What a Chad.
So
Saved us all from the ambush.
I don't want to take too much time, but I do want to introduce you all to my GM. I really love him. I rolled him up ready for this moment. This is Morpert. Isn't he dashing?
Oh
He's
yeah,
dashing. That's a
He's
great beard.
Nice.
And
he looks very very handsome.
I love your illustrations.
He's like ugly handsome. He's got like really crazy eyebrows and
Roguish.
way too much. Yeah, kind of just. He looks wild. But then he smiles through that, and it's kind of charming and kind of like a ugly.
I know that vibe.
Yeah, ugly, handsome. Yeah.
Yeah.
As Roald
He's like a
Dahl
young
put it,
Tommy Lee Jones.
Good
Yeah,
vibes
it's like
come out of
Tommy
his
Lee
face when he
Jones.
smiles.
Yeah.
Well, tell us more at the end of the session.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we are marching. We are marching to. Would we march to the? You said like, city hall to. Yes, we would march to the friar, right?
Frere Brelin.
Friar.
You march on Frere Brelin, and he is as horrified to learn about this as you were, as far as you can tell. And because now to emphasize, Frere Brelin is charmed by Magnus,
Ooh.
and his loyalty is beyond question.
I
So when
didn't
he
know
says he did not know about this, and he's distraught and horrified to learn, you know it's true. It's also like that guy never really seemed that together. Oh yes, the bodies are accumulated. I will tell you about the gear you acquire in short order, though I suspect you will largely be disappointed. Once you've explained the situation to him.
Wait, why is I had Florpert selected as I said that. Ignore that.
Yeah, it's normal. One of the prisoners is, of course, cooperative. The other one is kept in some degree of non-compos mentis. You are able to, from this, learn that they were in service to Lord Hummelunch as his honor guard, and Lord Hummelunch is in service to a higher power who created them with dark magic.
A lower power, perhaps.
One of those. The long-armed man was an assassin whose purpose here was to kill Magnus specifically. The old woman is a spiritual teacher to the people of this town, and specifically has ties to the young, what's his name? Carambear? To young Caltrim and Denbakan. So what else is involved here?
Oh, man. Bloombad's gonna want the whole place torn down.
Well,
Probably.
Frere Brelland is happy to assist you in detaining Caltrim immediately, if you wish. Or rather, he attempts to be ready to, but he's still apparently quite ill. Now that he's no longer views Lord Homelunch in such a positive light, he immediately begins to suspect that perhaps he's been poisoned for some time.
Yes, we can
cursed.
look into this tea that you keep drinking.
I've gotten that vibe.
Yeah.
No, but it's so delicious. My favorite tea.
We shall find you a better tea.
Now, do you descend upon the church, the home of Denbakan and Caltrim, or a secret third thing I haven't thought of?
I would say the second. Would everyone agree? That seems like a reasonable place
Where
they
the
might
ho-
have quickly retreated.
Uh,
I'm a little more concerned about the church itself,
yeah.
because is the church, is it like wood or is it stone or what?
Stone base, a stone foundation with and stone like lower wall with wood atop that.
Yeah. I'm personally leaning more towards church, as like that's the place where.
Their base of power.
Well, that's a redoubt against this, right?
Okay. I'm outvoted. Let's go.
Okay, to the church you go in short order. One sec. Activate. Alrighty. At the church, you find that it is largely empty. There is no obvious sign of its corruption. There is a single man there who is who you find in the side building. One named Brother Elfin, who seems quite taken aback by her sudden entrance. When subjected to further interrogation, it becomes clear that he was also one of the students of the priestess, one of the teachers of the outer darkness. And you take him into custody.
Yeah, do we have an extra steak for this guy?
He attempts to... There's a strangeness to him, but compared to the old woman, there's more left to him. Remember when you met that woman, that priest far down in the pits, and how she'd been so twisted up by the chaos there was almost nothing left of her? You can see a bit of that process happening with this man, and it begins most obviously at the moment when, at the first sign that you might be willing to consider the situation, he draws a club and prepares to strike a spiteful final blow. But he is no great combatant. His life is forfeit. Unless, of course, you take him into custody.
I assume that people would just, given the proportion of prisoners we took, I assume someone just like chops his head off before I could say anything.
If there's hope
Where-
for
tell
him, then I'm not against keeping him alive.
Tell
It's
us
not a-
where Homelunch is.
You'll never find him. He walks through roads no man can follow. He goes in other worlds.
That guy again.
Other worlds, you say?
This sounds related to that Rakshasa you've told me about.
The hated Scrimge.
You've made
Yes,
many
him.
enemies. We were to be only the first of their salvos. Don't rest lightly. Remember, though the light may shine brightly in the winter, the darkness encroaches on every side. Though summer may rise, winter always comes again.
The vice versa is also true.
Only for now. Someday, the final winter will come. And all of this will be as ash. And with that, it's 8:30. And you have exercised, at least for now, the creepy power that has been subtly influencing Inchberry for some time.
Yes. Having one of those, having a charmed jackalware would really help us, I assume, to root out other conspirators.
Likely so.
Yeah, I was thinking the same way.